Good morning, everybody. Thanks as always for tuning in to PDubs Arcade Loft, where we always appreciate it when you come and hang out upstairs with us. And we are doing an Early Risers live stream. That's right. My dog woke me up at 4:30 in the morning, and I haven't been able to fall asleep since. So we are running on coffee, adrenaline, and excellence this morning, and I figured I'd bring that energy to you guys this morning on your morning commutes to the office. Hopefully you're not actually watching the video while you're driving, but it doesn't hurt to listen to the video as well. Hope you guys are all doing well. Today is Wednesday, June 10th, 2026. We do have an interesting update regarding the AtGames versus Zen Studios lawsuit. We do have a poll in the live chat. Make sure you vote in the poll. The poll is simple. Do you think that this lawsuit's going to get settled quickly? Do you think that this lawsuit's going to get settled in a few months? Or do you think this thing could drag on for years? A lot of people, since my last live stream where I went over the breaking news about the lawsuit, people are leaving comments on the video. They're like, "P-Dubs, what's happening? What happened? How did it end up?" And I'm like, guys, it's a court case. It could drag on for years. Me personally, oh man, I don't want to influence the poll. Me personally, I think this is going to be done and over with in a few months. I don't think it's going to be done and over with in a couple of weeks or very quickly or within a month. But I do think it will resolve fairly soon. I think it'll be resolved in a few months, and we're going to talk about that here shortly. Also, I want to talk about the new pinball games that got announced, especially with Zen Studios leaving AtGames. Does that mean, like, the games they got coming out, is that enough to keep the interest in the AtGames Legends pinball platform? Or are they dead in the water? That kinds of stuff. We'll talk about that as well. Also, whatever else you guys want to talk about, I'm here for you. And although when I drink my coffee, do me a favor, don't make fun of my Stitch Christmas mug. Hopefully you guys got a coffee or a tea. Knock over your glass. We're going to spill some tea today, but you know, don't make fun of it. It's what was clean. It was the first thing in the cupboard when I pulled out to get this delicious coffee. It's so good. I know. I hate it when people eat and drink on live streams because, you know, if you hear them slurping or chewing, to me it really turns me off. It disgusts me. So I'll try my best not to do that. Oh, so good. Anyway, I'm on the West Coast, guys. It's 6 a.m. here in Arizona. Holy shit. Let's see who's here in the chat. We got Billy Woods Mods. He says he's got a hot take. AtGames is going to bankrupt Zen, then buy up the remains of them. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Wouldn't that be hilarious? I use a Christmas cup all year round. Coffee, the nectar of the gods. Triumph or Die is here. Good to see you as well. Retro Barcade, 6 a.m. on a Wednesday. You must be on a West Coast as well. Sir Sega's here. One of my favorites. Billy Woods Mods is here. RTX Pinball says 6 a.m. your time. Yep, 6 a.m. my time. Oh, Mike of all trades. The good old 5 a.m. alarm. God damn, you know, it's real sad that, you know, we only have 2 out of 3 dogs left. But still, you know, they're my babies. And Robin, my sidekick, my soulmate, came over. He was licking my face. And I'm like, I know what you want. You know, I open my eyes. I'm like, you want me to let you out? And he starts doing circles. You know, he's like, yes, I gotta pee, dude. Let me up or I am going to get out, or things are going to happen. Good morning, Dubber and chat. Zim's here. Zim, give me a get in there in the live chat. Israel's here as well. P-Dub's going to take... Yeah, there will definitely be... I'm notorious and famous for my naps. There's definitely going to be a nap later on this afternoon when I get off work. That's for sure. Don't expect any content from me this evening. Justin Peterson's here as well. Also, big shout out to everyone who tuned in late last night for me doing a pinball live stream. It was super fun. We were just testing out some new equipment. We got a few kinks to work out to make the presentation even better. But for a first test run, I thought it went pretty well. God damn, I hate trying. People are like, they don't live stream pinball, and because they don't live stream it, they never play it. You know what I mean? You know those morons on YouTube? If they don't see you doing it, they assume you never do it. You know what I mean? Those complete jackasses on YouTube. And it's like, dude, capturing pinball on the AtGames Legends Pinball sucks. No matter what pinball machine it is, it sucks. Because you can't actually capture the screens. You can't actually capture the audio the way you can with like a lot of Stern pinball machines. At least you can capture the DMD. You can get the audio. You know what I mean? Hell, Labyrinth. My Labyrinth pinball's great for streaming because the back glass plus the secondary back glass, because remember, it's got two. It's got one on the playfield. Both of those are HDMI. A couple HDMI splitters and capture cards, and boom, I can capture it, and it looks beautiful, right? And then also on a DIY pinball machine, odds are you use monitors in your back glass and your playfield that are HDMI compatible, and you could do the same thing, right? Capture the audio, capture the screen, looks beautiful, crisp. And, you know, I never like streaming AtGames Pinball because I think most of the streams look like shit, mine included. That's not a shot against anyone else out there. And it's not our fault. That's AtGames' fault for cheaping out on the products and making them shitty for us to present to other people. Does that make sense, guys? Like, I'm not crapping on all the YouTubers out there. I'm crapping on AtGames. They gave us a product that you can't capture footage on properly. So how are people supposed to show it off or run tournaments or stuff like that? You know what I mean? Most pinball live streams look like ass, and that's nothing against the YouTubers. Everyone's doing the best they can. What's going on in the chat? I see the quarterback's here. What's up, man? Are you back? You've been gone forever. Where is the quarterback? Quarterdeck Arcade. Oh, yeah, there's so many morons on YouTube. It's so funny. I might be one of them, too. But, hey, if you don't like me, don't watch me. Don't come around. Don't watch my stuff. Don't like gossip in your little gossip circles about everything I say or do and criticize it. You know what I mean? I got more important shit to do with my time. All right, guys. All right, let's dive into the lawsuit. So, guys, it's time to get serious, okay? It's time to get serious. Here we go. In the criminal justice system, violating pinball agreements are considered especially heinous. The dedicated detectives who investigate these issues are members of an elite squad known as the Special Pinball Unit. These are their stories. Come on, was that good? Was that good or what? Was that good or what? Uh-oh. It says I lost connection. Am I not online anymore, guys? Am I not here? Did I get cursed? All right. So what you guys may not have realized is AtGames and Zen Studios recently met up in Rockford. This is secret news that nobody else knows but PDubs. You're only going to find this kind of information here on the leader of Home Arcade Entertainment's channel. And they met up in Rockford, and we were able to capture some footage of their exchange in Rockford, Illinois, where Zen Studios and AtGames met up to discuss, you know, what's going on with their lawsuit and where did they think it was going and all that kinds of stuff. I got a clip here of that meeting. Let's check it out. Here is AtGames and Zen Studios talking about their differences.
You're gonna lose. You stink. You're gonna lose.
Got him!
Now, who was Tom Hanks in that video? Was Tom Hanks AtGames or was Tom Hanks Little Stillwell? You guys let me know in the live chat. I'd greatly appreciate it. Okay, so awesome. But let's get serious here for a minute here, guys. Let's get serious here. Here, let me pull it up. I got it for you right here. So just to give you an update on what's been happening with the AtGames Zen Studios lawsuit. Obviously, AtGames a few weeks ago filed this lawsuit. Zen Studios, of course, gets time to respond. If a lot of you have been nosing around the court documents, you'll notice there have been a lot of filings lately. There have been a lot of motions and filings, and basically it's stuff saying, you know, hey, we're the attorney that's going to represent Zen. Oh, wait, you're not a Florida attorney? Oh, yeah, but I'm allowed to practice in Florida. Okay, let's do this. You know, it's like all the, like, trying to figure out who the attorneys are, where the case is going to be held at, you know, that kinds of stuff. And then, of course, AtGames decided to file a TRO, a temporary restraining order, against Zen Studios. Sorry, I paused for effect. Now, what's interesting about that is some of you might be like, oh my God, that sounds serious. But it's not, honestly, it's pretty basic stuff. This court case, as you guys know, is filled with redacted information. The original agreement between AtGames and Zen Studios, completely redacted, blacked out on all the court documents. We don't know what each party agreed to, so we don't know what Zen Studios thinks AtGames did to let them out of the agreement. And AtGames, of course, we can't verify what they say in the agreement is the reason Zen Studios can't leave the agreement and end the partnership, right? Which is what this whole thing's about. So there's so much redacted information. So the TRO is basically saying, hey, you know what? We want AtGames filing this TRO is basically saying we want to keep everything as private as possible. They don't want this information getting out to the public. Which can you blame them? You know what I mean? I mean, it's their company. They have a right to, their privacy. Plus, they who knows? They don't want us to know the nitty-gritty details. Now, the most recent filing is very, very interesting, which I'm going to pull up here for you guys. This was actually just filed a couple of days ago, and it's about this temporary restraining order. And let's go ahead and do this, and let's go ahead and let's kind of zoom in. All right. So this was filed just a few days ago. Motion to conduct AtGames motion for TRO hearing in camera. So whatchamacallit? Now, this is interesting. So RTX says AtGames wants it to be public. Well, if that's the case, they wouldn't have made this filing. This is a filing by AtGames RTX. AtGames says, plaintiff AtGames, by and through counsel, respectfully moves the court for an order that the hearing on it for the TRO, currently set for June 16th, be conducted in camera. In camera. So they're saying we want it done in camera view. Okay, but they also are doing this because they don't, and there's a reason why. Here it is. Right here. Conducting the hearing in camera will allow the parties, let's go full screen for you guys, will allow the parties and the court to address confidential and sensitive matters without unnecessary public disclosure. Unnecessary public disclosure. So what does that mean, guys? What is unnecessary public disclosure? Well, do you guys remember, what is it they called us? The online gaming community, but there was a word before online gaming community. They don't want us to know. They still are doing whatever they can to keep the contracts, if there's dollar amounts, also maybe some units, because keep in mind, some of these court papers said like XO retailer canceled order of XO units, and it's all redacted, right? So it's like we don't know how many units like Sam's Club maybe ordered, or Kohl's, or who knows what retailer. And those orders got canceled when they found out that Zen Studios was no longer working with AtGames. So what's interesting is, but keep this in mind, and this is where I think that this might actually get settled in a few months. It's not going to be quickly, but I think in a few months. Take a look at this. On June 2nd, which was about, 8 days ago, the attorney for AtGames and the attorney for Zen had a telephone call, and they both agreed to have the hearing be conducted on camera. And what's interesting, too, is you say, RTX says AtGames wants it public, right here. No offense to you, RTX, but it says right here, on June 4th, AtGames emailed the attorney for Zen Studios a motion for the hearing to be conducted in camera. They asked for it. Mr. Sussman, the next day, said they have no objection to conducting the TRO hearing in camera. And so, of course, then AtGames respectfully requests that it be held on camera and kept private. So, what is interesting about this is at least the two companies are meeting each other in the middle. They're not trying to mudsling or throw dirt on each other at this point, right? AtGames put in their very dramatic filing about how their business is ruined without Zen, and Zen still technically hasn't responded. All they've done so far is like pick attorneys and decide when they're going to hear the first motion, and the first motion is going to be this TRO, temporary restraining order, as to whether or not they're going to be able to share information publicly and how much, right? So that's what's going on with the lawsuit. I think that they're going to, and also too, let's think about it this way. AtGames, from what we could tell, now keep in mind the court docs are heavily redacted, but from what we could tell, AtGames wasn't looking for money. AtGames was looking for just Zen Studios to fulfill the end of their contract and keep working with them until the end of the contract. Because you know darn well, even if AtGames wins and Zen is ordered to do so, do you think Zen Studios would renew? I don't know, man. Some businesses get bitter like that, right? So anyway, that's what's going on with this. So yeah, they don't want to destroy each other, and that's good. So yeah, that's good. And look at James right here, the king of litigation. June 16th is when the court will hear arguments for and against the motion. The judge seems to be capitulating to AtGames' desire to fast-track things. So in my opinion, because they're not looking for money, I don't think this thing is going to drag on and on and on and on and on and on. I think this will be over in a few months. Me personally, but then again, I'm not an attorney, nor am I qualified to be an attorney, nor should anyone take any of the things I say as attorney advice. There you go. Mel responded before the filing via his blockade interview. Are you talking about the one he did months ago? That's part of their exhibits, part of the evidence that AtGames presented to the court against Zen Studios? Or are you talking about he did another interview? Let me know, Mel, because let me know, Billy, because I don't know if he did another interview or not. That'd be interesting if he did. Zen could say they have tables in development and never release them. Interesting. Interesting. Neither one will want that agreement public, but I do think Zen will argue their termination letter should be. That's the response I've been waiting for, right? Is, you know, AtGames says this. Zen Studios would say probably a motion to dismiss or something, saying, hey, we want to dismiss this case. It's frivolous. According to the agreement, we were allowed to leave versus XYZ. Judge, please dismiss this case. Let's stop wasting everybody's time. I'm assuming that's the kind of response Zen Studios would give in layman's terms, right? And that hasn't come through yet because they got to get through this part first. So yeah, there you go. Agreed. Okay, so you are talking the December interview. Okay, good. All right. Let's get off that. So that's where it stands. Anything more, you know, is kind of speculation. This is my take on publicly available information. It's my opinion on publicly available information. Nothing I'm stating is as fact. And therefore, I cannot be sued for any kind of defamation, libel, or slander. I think I covered all the disclaimers. So there you go. So guys, let me know what you think. Do you think that this is going to drag on like quickly? Like, do you think they'll settle this in a couple weeks? Is this going to be settled in several months? Or do you think this is going to go on for years? Sometimes this stuff could go on for years. Make sure you vote in the poll. Would love to get your feedback. I do want to talk then. So transitioning over to additional AtGames stuff is AtGames. Oop, let me get this off my screen. AtGames announced their Q3 lineup of of pinball games coming out. Let's take a look here. Now the question is this stuff going to be enough to keep the people excited, right? Keep them interested, because if there's one thing people were looking for from AtGames was the constant flow of Zen Studios pinball games, right? So taking a look here at Q3, we got a couple of deluxe games from Zakaria, Aerobatics Deluxe, Time Machine Deluxe. Now, this is going to be a hot take, and some of you might not be able to handle it, but I'm just going to tell you this right now. A lot of the deluxe games, I don't enjoy. The Zakaria Deluxe. I mean, yeah, it's cool. They got better, you know, animations and all that shit. But a lot of them I don't like because a lot of them just take too damn long to play. I'll be honest. There's some people who are big high score chasers. Me, a lot of times, because of how busy I am, I'm like, dude, I just want to turn on, play pinball for 5 minutes and get off. If I want to do that, if I personally wanted to do that, guys, if I personally wanted to just turn on a pinball game and I just want to play for 5 minutes, I just want to play a game and walk away, I know never to pick a Zaccaria Deluxe game because the games will last 20, 30 minutes. Am I right, guys? Am I right? Like, holy shit. You're just like, at some point, you're like, wow, I'm doing really well, but I really wish this was over. I know that's a weird take, but the deluxe games really drag on. They really drag on. So I'm not too excited about the deluxe games. I know some of you might be, but it's just not for me. I want it to be, I want to get on there and be like, hey, I just want to bang the ball around for 5 minutes. I don't give a shit what score I get. I just want to have fun for 5 minutes and then move on. Does that make sense? Dennis B, some of the newer ones are getting better. That's good to hear. Jim Harper, he dismisses all the Zaccaria games, only consider the AtGames. Hey, AtGames is surprising the hell out of me with the original tables. Big shout out to that team, Scott Shelton. I guess they got Tampa Tech involved. They just hired another guy. I forget who he is. Stuff like that. So they are filling out the team with some good folks. Oh yeah, they Bobby King from Farsight Studios now working for AtGames. Who would have thought? Bobby King is huge and knows his shit about virtual pinball. So him working for AtGames, Scott Shelton, Tampa Tech, and this other guy they just hired. That's like they're like loading the bases with some runners. You know what I mean? So let's see what kind of games they can come up with. I think it's worth not panicking and being like, oh my God, I'm going to sell my machine. I'm so disappointed, because these guys working on stuff, they're refreshing the Gottlieb games. Hopefully those look super cool when they're done. But then on top of that, new stuff coming out with those guys doing it. It could end up being good. Could end up being good, right? But getting back to this. Yeah, not a fan of the long games. Here you go, Jimmy. Not a fan of the long games. There you go. Newer ones have a lot less flippers thing. Yeah, it took them years to hear our feedback on that. Like, we were like, dude. Do you guys remember? We're like, dude, why does this game have 8 flippers? It's nuts. Like, it was too much. And finally they toned it down to like 2 or 3 flippers. Some tables have 4 on the latest releases, but still way better than it used to be, because it was just obnoxious. It was Flipper City. Flipper City. All right, getting back to this. Primal Carnage Remake. Primal Carnage Remake, I think, is interesting. I think it was Primal Carnage. Which one was the one I liked? Oh God, I can't remember. I don't think it was Retro. Maybe it was just Primal. It wasn't the Deluxe either. There were like 3 versions of Primal Carnage that have been released, right, guys? What were the 3 they released? They did a Primal Carnage Retro, Primal Carnage Deluxe. Is that it? And by the way, how about a hashtag Justice for Quilts in the live chats? The fact that AtGames is not giving us a Quilts game, we should riot. We should riot. Because, let's be honest, it's so stupid that it needs to be made. It needs to be made. And I'm telling you right now, AtGames, if you frickin' make that game, I will support you. I will give you $8 and buy that game for the community. So maybe you guys will jump on board with me, but it's such a stupid idea that it needs to be made. You know what I mean? Solid state. Yeah, that's it. Oh, dude, because I love solid state pinball. EM, solid state, love that stuff. Not a lot of people prefer the more modern pinball, but do you know why I go to Starfighters Arcade? So if you guys have never been to Arizona, Starfighters Arcade is in Mesa, Arizona. If you ever come to Arizona for a convention, vacation, anything, make it a point to schedule some time to go to Starfighters Arcade in Mesa, Arizona. And the reason why I love going there, and it's probably my favorite pinball joint, is the fact that they have well over 100 pinball machines, but 80 of them are the older pinball machines, the classics. A lot of the Data East tables, a lot of the Gottlieb tables, a lot of the older Bailey and Williams tables. And then they have about, let's just say 20, like they always have the newer Sterns there too. But it's not like the entire thing is filled with, oh my God, here's 2 Venoms, here's 3 John Wicks, oh, here's 2 Jaws. Like, it's the older stuff. And that's the stuff I like to play, you know, Tales from the Crypt and all those games. Like I don't give a shit about, you know, how many insider connected points I have on that app. Hell, half the time I play Stern Pinball, I forget to scan in anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like, I prefer the older games. You know what I mean? That's just me. That's just me. All right, getting off that here. Oh, wait. Yeah, the solid state. Yeah, that I liked it. I liked it. That's the one. There you go. I am just meh until August 20th. I love, yeah, Data East pinball games are great. The classic Data East Ninja Turtles, classic Data East Star Wars, Tales from the Crypt, Nightmare Before Elm Street. Like, dude, they had a lot of great licenses back in the day. A lot of great licenses. Any news about VPX? So Nix is working on a way where he's going to be able to release it broadly versus, you know, the way it's done now, as well as to make sure that he protects pinball makers from people trying to copy stuff. So he's working on it. Keep in mind, the guy's got a job too. He's got a life, a career, family. You know what I mean? This stuff is a hobby for him, just like us. So it's not like he's working on this 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. But whenever it's ready, I think he said he's going to probably come on and make an announcement. He might come on my stream. I think he will. But then also he might tour and be on others, and you'll see every pinball channel making videos about it when it gets launched. I'm hoping before the end of the year, buddy. I'm hoping before the end of the year, Michael. There you go. All right. So Primal Carnage Remake, I find interesting because a lot of the Zakaria remake games I actually do enjoy. Then we got another deluxe game. So I'll be honest, out of the first 4 here, the only one I'm really interested in is Primal Carnage Remake. All the deluxe games I'll take a look at. I'll see what other people who buy it live stream and play, and if it looks fun, I might pick those up. But I'm not just going to buy them without playing them or seeing other people play them, because the deluxe games they just drag. They're a drag for me, guys. They're a drag. Okay, let's talk about this. This is the one I'm most excited for. Firefighter Urban. God damn, I loved Firefighter Wildlands. You guys remember that one. Firefighter, was it Wildlands First Responders or whatever it's called? Dude, loved it. One of the best games I think AtGames has made as an AtGames original. So I am super excited about this one coming out August 20th. I'm hoping it's just as good as that one. And even first, the police one that came out recently, love that one as well. I like the First Responder series that they're doing. I think they're fun pinball games. Yeah, they're using AI artwork. Oh my God, everyone kill them. Everyone kill them. Burn your pinball machines because they're using AI artwork. I get it. Trust me. People love that when developers hire and pay actual artists for their talents versus plugging a prompt into a computer and letting a computer just generate something for you. And a lot of times these things have errors that people don't catch. Like, oh my God, that girl has 6 fingers. You know what I mean? Or, oh my God, that guy's leg is going through that table. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I like the artwork on it. I think it's okay. I don't take it too seriously for those type of games. It'd be different if it was like a major license and they went the AI route for me personally. But on an original game, I really don't care if they use AI. I would just double check it, give it a discount, double check, and make sure that it doesn't have any errors on it. Take your time, look through it carefully, because you never know. You never know with AI. There could be issues. Yeah, Street Patrol. I loved Street Patrol. And I only bought it because everyone else was playing it. And I was like, wow, this game is really, really cool. Now, didn't they have City Golf, which I don't really know anything about? It sounds like it's a golf-themed pinball game, which is cool. Who doesn't like that? There have been plenty of those games, Teed Off and others. What is it? Gopher? Is it No Good Gophers and Teed Off? Like, there have been golf-themed pinball games. But City Golf. I'm trying to understand. A vulture to a bald eagle. Yeah, well, I played Magic Castle. I'll be honest, Billy, I didn't even notice it. I didn't even notice that they that they changed it from the original artwork. Yeah, because on the original Magic Castle it was an eagle, and now it's a vulture. So yeah, you gotta pay more attention on stuff like that. Wait, City Golf is gonna be. Let's see what RTX says. He's got the inside scoop. City Golf is just Magic Pixel Fishtails. Interesting. So you've actually seen it, like tested it. Has there been any footage published for that one, guys? Let me know. Yeah, City Golf. Well, if it's like fishtails, I know a lot of people like fishtails. I never really liked fishtails. Like, I know it's always given away as the freebie game whenever Zen Studios, whenever Zen Studios on all their platforms, fishtails was always the freebie. That one in the with the sorcerer game, right? But yeah, you know, fishtails like free game actually really pissed me off when AtGames was charging $5 for it. You know, but it's live on Zakaria on Steam. Oh, okay, okay. I'll have to go check that one out. And any updates on ArcadeNet dubs? That was the greatest AtGames service. Oh, geez, who knows? I canceled my ArcadeNet subscription last year, finally. I had it for a while, and it's one of those things where they would charge you for 6 months, and then you forget that they charged you, and you forget to cancel. And then finally one day, and then it would renew, and you'd get the email, and you'd be like, "Fuck!" But I finally remembered to cancel. So I got that done. So I have no interest in their ArcadeNet service. And obviously they had a lot of issues developing Killer Instinct and stuff. Who knows what that was related to? Was it related to ArcadeNet? Who knows, right? Like, I mean, they wanted us to be able to fight each other online with that game. It'd be kind of silly to say, hey, we spent all this money on this license just for local play only. But yeah, ArcadeNet never really worked well. I mean, hell, Mike and I tried to play Bad Dudes. Do you guys remember the Bad Dudes stream that Michael B and I did? And it crashed on us. Did it kick us out once or twice? I can't remember. But then we were finally able to do a full playthrough. But then again, it was like that. It was fun playing squash, though. ArcadeNet seemed to be able to handle squash. Sounds like such a shitty arcade game, and it's not that great of an arcade game. But it's a fun game to play against a buddy, squash. And there were a lot of us who were playing squash all the time online, and that would actually work pretty well, if I remember. Oh yeah, Andstream Arcade works way better than ArcadeNet. Yeah, Retro Barcade canceled it 2 months ago. Not worth it. There you go. Yeah, that was a classic stream, Hazo. Playing squash. There were a whole bunch of us in this community who played squash against each other. We had a blast. I called myself because I would always pick the character who wore purple. I'd say Purple Rain. So I'd go in people's chats and I'd be like, Purple Rain for the win, or I'm coming to get you. And I beat plenty of people. I beat plenty of people playing that. Hey, Mo, what's up, buddy? Well, to be fair, it was bad news. Yeah, dude, trust me. I did it for Mike. Because Mike's like, but you guys know I don't like bad dudes. But Mike, playing with a buddy, maybe it'd be better. And we had fun. Like, we had fun. I had fun playing with Mike. But still, it was bad dudes. I know you guys hate it. I'm sorry. There are so many side-scrolling beat-em-up games that I would rather play besides Bad Dudes and Double Dragon. I understand they're classic. I understand their place in history. I understand that in some categories they were the first to do X, Y, Z. But it's not enough for me to want to play them like some other folks. Now, has there been footage released of Wild Games, guys? Let me know in the chat. Has there been footage? Because apparently City Golf is online. I'm gonna have to pull that up here and see if I can find some footage of it, because I did not know. Let's go right here. You love the hat? Oh yeah, take a look. So on this side, I picked this up. If you guys watched my Phoenix Fan Fusion video where we went to that pop culture convention over the weekend, this is one of the hats I picked up. On this side, it says "Let's Get Dangerous," Darkwing Duck, and then there's a Dark DW on this side. Pretty dope looking snapback. Thanks so much for loving the hat. Yeah, I'm surprised we have anyone watching this early in the morning. Holy shit. But it's kind of funny when I posted it on my Facebook. Make sure you follow me at PDubs Arcade Loft on Facebook. I just said, hey, I'm going live in 10 minutes, and if you're asleep, just watch the replay. Too funny, too funny. We're just doing a fun morning stream. Give people something to listen to on their commute to work, or if they're sitting at their desk and they want to hear some they want to hear something while they're working. All right, I'm checking out to see if we get some city golf. All right, so here we go. Wow, this came out a year ago. Shows you how often I log into Zakaria on Steam. So this is a big shout out to the Crow Continuum. This is his footage. Let's see. Oh, wait. Can you guys not hear the audio? Here. Let's go back. Let's go back. Because actually the audio's in. You gotta hear the audio to make a judgment on it. The audio is so important in a pinball game. The call-outs, the music, the sound effects. So sometimes when you're just playing a video and you see a ball moving around, it doesn't give you the true blue feel of the stuff. So let's go ahead and enable the audio, share, and let's check this out. Negaduck. I remember Negaduck. All right, here we go.
Fairway is yours. Time to swing for the greens.
Let's check this out.
Wedges mode. Master the wedge game. It's all about that perfect touch.
Oh my god, it's totally fishtails. Hold on, guys. I'm going to tell you my opinion here. This is the first time I've ever seen this.
Into the water. Time
All
to
right.
get back on the
Would you
fairway.
rather play this game or teed off? I would rather play
Wedges
teed
mode.
off.
Master the wedge game. It's all about that perfect touch. Wedges mode completed. Nice work. 1 mil irons mode. Precision in your hands.
It's
Let's keep the
okay,
momentum
but
rolling.
I'd rather play teed off, guys. I'd rather play teed off or the gopher, the gopher game. I'd rather do that. Let me get this out of here. Were you guys able to hear the audio? I hope you were. I come into work through the side entrance, so Lumberg won't see me. Oh, okay. It's like baby fishtails. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when they release it, it'll be $8. That seems to be the price. Teed off, yeah, dude. Honestly, tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat. Like, I would rather play teed off. Like, if you're gonna make a golf game, look at previous golf games and say, how can we top that? You know what I mean? Instead of putting this together, like. And I understand that when developers work on this stuff, it's their job, it's their livelihood, and you know they spend their time, they put their effort into it. But it's just like when an author writes a book, you know. Some people will love it and some people will hate it. They have to be open to the criticism. You know what I mean? So I would rather play teed off than this one. Thanks so much, Tommy. Good to see you. I haven't seen you around lately. Good to see you back in the chat. What's up, Leon? Good to see you. Thanks also for coming by last night during my live stream. Make sure you guys fast forward to the end of the live stream, the last 4 minutes from last night, where we finally got the instant replay working on my device, which is really cool. So when I live stream pinball, I can hit an instant replay button. And like we could replay either like my reaction in slow motion or like an incredible shot or feat, if you will, that surprised us, right? And it was pretty funny when I turned it down to 33% and we were talking in slow motion on the replay. It was pretty funny. We might do that some more. Brooklyn Bennis is here. Make sure you guys sub to Brooklyn. I love Brooklyn. He's a good human being. $8 for crap. Let's get flippin' dangerous. Well, look, let's get dangerous right there, buddy, right there. Yeah, I like no good gophers. I'll be honest though, I like teed off more than no good gophers. So hats off to Gottlieb on that one. But no good gophers is a good game. Yeah, so I'm not excited about this one. What's the other one? Oop, let me pause this. I got the audio going in my ear. What's the other one? Wild Games. His Wild Games, it's coming out in September. Is this also on here? Wild Games Zakaria. Let's see if there's footage of it. And what do you know? It also came out a year ago. Up. right. Big shout out to Crow Continuum. We're going to use his footage again for this, guys. Make sure you subscribe to Crow Continuum. I've actually talked to him once or twice, and he's super cool guy. All right, so here's Wild Games. Let's check this out. We're using his footage. Are you gonna play, buddy? All right, here we go. You finally launched the ball.
Skill shot, 1 million points. Bumper value up, more hits, more hype. Keep it rolling. Skill shot, 1 million points.
It's a skateboarding game. Holy shit!
Save is lit.
Look at the skateboarding ramp.
Combo.
You got your
Ball
half
is
pipe
saved. Do not move.
skateboarder right here. Spray paint.
Multi-ball is lit. Get ready for total chaos.
The artwork
Double
is
combo. Multi-ball.
It looks
Balls
like spray
flying,
paint, like
point
graffiti.
stacking. Let's wreck this table.
All right. Wild Games looks okay, right? Wild Games okay?
Triple
Let me know in the
combo.
chat. Like, I think it looks okay. I think this looks fun.
Bumper bonus. Hit him hard. Rack
Nice
up that
theme.
score.
I don't remember seeing a skateboarding pinball game in a long time. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Look at this. And see, that's the way these top playfields should be, like a nice small area versus covering the entire frickin' playfield. You know what I mean? Callouts are a bit much, yeah.
Slingshots boosted. 10x scoring.
The voiceover is a little over the top. Well, geez,
that
my
landing was rough.
voiceovers are a
Reset
little
and send
over
it.
the top. Yeah, it's more exciting than the golf game, right? Like that golf game made me want to fall asleep. Well, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. All right, big shout out to Crow Continuum for that. All
1
right,
million
so
points.
big shout out there. Let's get this off here, and let me get this off of here. All right, so so taking a look at the lineup. Here's my final thoughts on this lineup here. Share screen. So taking a look at the lineup, I'm gonna have to say I'm very interested in seeing how the remake game looks for Primal Carnage. Firefighter Urban and Wild Games might be the only three I pick up and want to play, unless these deluxe games surprise me, which unfortunately they usually don't. I usually find the deluxe games incredibly boring and they take too long to play. You play one, you're like, oh man, I'm going to play like a few games of pinball. You play one deluxe game, you're at, holy shit, it's been 27 minutes. You know what I mean? You're like, Jesus, I don't even want to play a second game, right? You know what I mean? It just keeps going and going and going and going. Need some more hip-hop music? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. This looks like the Aerobatics Deluxe is cool. There you go. Watching golf makes me want to fall asleep, period. There you go. Okay, guys, what else is going on in the world? We got a few minutes left. So what else is going on that you guys want to talk about? The floor is yours. Let me go ahead and also stop this poll. Let's see where the results took us, if I can find it. Let me get this off my screen. Could be anything, AtGames or other related. I do have some, as you guys know, I had 5 interviews scheduled, and some people were like, well, where's the 3rd interview? Guys, it's only June 10th. I said throughout the month of June. We still got 20 days left. So you're going to see the other 3 interviews coming up real soon. One is from a major company, which I'm pretty excited about because I've never had them on my channel before. And the other 2 are, one might be an indie gaming developer, and the other one is a modding project guy. So it's going to be some good stuff. It's going to be some good stuff. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the interviews. You know, I try to cover some stuff that isn't as saturated as other stuff to try and, you know, get different stuff out there. You know me, I always root for the underdog. Hell, when AtGames was the underdog, do you guys remember? I was like one of the only YouTubers constantly covering AtGames. There's like me and like 3 other guys. There wasn't that many of us. And now you got like 40 guys covering AtGames consistently. And I've dropped off. You know what I mean? There you go. Iconic Double Dragon. I don't have any interest in because it's Double Dragon. I would like to see the game lineups though. I want to see what else is going to be included on that machine. And because you never know if there's a game on there I would prefer, maybe you reskin it to that game. Who knows? We'll see. Right now I'm just not interested in it. What's your next big purchase when it comes to arcades or pinball? I think the next big purchase is the one that I already made, and that was the how long will the AtGames Zen Studios suit last? Let's take a look at the final poll results. Settled in a few months, 53%. I agree with you guys. I don't think this is going to drag on for years. 28% said years. 19% said settled quickly, which means maybe within a couple of weeks. Okay, so back to what Jolly Green said. I got Glenn's FU arcade coming. Guys, that was expensive. It was just as much as buying a Polycade. It's an expensive multicade, so it's a lot of money. So that's like my next big purchase coming. I do have some stuff I want to sell because I'm just overloaded on stuff. The curse of running a YouTube channel is you purchase a lot of things and then you end up in abundance of things, and some things are redundant or repetitive when it comes to, hey, I could play that game on this other product instead that I enjoy more. So like there's two of my pinball machines I'm thinking about offloading, and then a couple of the multicades I'm thinking about offloading, and I might buy another pinball machine at that point. Because I got Labyrinth and I have Lord of the Rings Stern, 20-year-old pinball game, one of their best games they've ever made. Which, by the way, I don't think I made a video for the Lord of the Rings pinball. Let me know if you guys want a video of that. Let me know in the chat, that real Lord of the Rings pinball that I bought, Stern. As you guys know, I want to keep up with the fantasy theme. I was really considering, do I want to get the double Dungeons and Dragons Stern pinball, or do I want to chase down, and here's what I think I'm going to do, because when I recently went to Colorado on a work trip, I went to that one-up arcade bar in Colorado again, and they had the Game of Thrones from Stern, which again is another damn near 20-year-old pinball machine. And it was super fun. Super fun. I liked it. And I was thinking, hey, maybe I can get like Labyrinth, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. We could add Dungeons and Dragons later when I can get a good deal on it and not pay as much money, because Game of Thrones I might be able to get. But yeah, Lord. Oh, you guys want a video on it? Yeah, there you go. Now, here's what's funny. I'm glad you mentioned this. We talked about this during the when we went to not Comic-Con. When we went to Chicago Pinball Expo a couple years ago, and it was when they announced the Princess Bride. Honestly, if I was going to get a multimorphic machine pinball, which, guys, that's the one where it's like almost half virtual, and then the top half of the playfield is real mechanical, I would get the Princess Bride. I mean, it had all the call outs from the movie, all the voices, all the music. It was fun to play. I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, if I was to get a multimorphic, it would be Princess Bride. Yeah. Transformers, no, I'm thinking more, sword and sorcery. Does that make sense? Transformers is fantasy, but it's like robotic sci-fi. So you guys know, like if Crawl, you know what I mean? Like games like that, you know what I mean? Like, what are some other good ones out there? And some of the older ones like Paragon and stuff, would be ones I would pick up. A whole bunch of sword and sorcery pinball machines. That's kind of what I'm into. What's up, Charlie? Dubs in the AM! We're getting close to the finish line though, buddy. Hopefully you'll check out the replay. Harry Potter, that's not really sword and sorcery. I mean, it's sorcery, but it's not sword and sandals and sorcery. Does that make sense? Just buy a Bad Dudes. If I bought a Bad Dudes pinball game machine, I would light it on fire if they ever made one. There you go. Have you ever participated in a pinball league? Nah, man, because that would involve leaving my house. Steps. That would involve leaving my house. And I am a hermit. And it's a shame that I became a hermit, but I go out when I need to. I go out with my family. I always go out on outings and have fun. Occasionally I'll meet up with friends, go to the movies and things and arcades, but I've told this story before. Like when COVID happened and my company was like, because I was working from home 1 day a week, and then I was commuting to work 4 days a week. Then COVID happened and they were like, we're shutting the office down. Everyone works from home. And then whatchamacallit, and then, you know, a couple years later, when all the companies were pushing for back to office, my company was like, okay, we want people in like 3 days a week. But because I live so far away from the office, they're like, we'll give you the opportunity to stay remote. So I'm like a full remote, I'm classified as a remote employee. So I only go in like for big meetings and stuff like that. So I work from home all the time. So yeah, so that would involve leaving my house, that kind of stuff. PD7, goddamn PD7, you're crushing it on your channel. You're crushing it. You know, I was going to stream Saturday night. I was going to play a game, and then I saw that PD7 was live, and I was like, I don't want to interrupt PD7's live stream, which technically doesn't matter. Like, YouTube is not cable TV. No one's on contracts or set times. Yeah, I know some YouTubers like to work around YouTubers that they're friends with. Like, hey, I'm friends with Mike, so I'm not going to stream at 9 p.m. on Mondays. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. But technically, guys, you could do whatever the fuck you want. If you want to go live when Super Game Room Dudes is live, go live. I don't care. I'm not going to be mad about it because guess what? You didn't sign no contract. Nobody reports to me. Does that make sense? And, you know, sometimes I like the competition. Hell, there was one show that went head to head with us on Friday nights, and they didn't last very long. I'm just kidding, guys. There you go. Well, you know, sword and sorcery, Pete. Sword and sorcery. There you go. Gamebit, he's remote, loving it. Yeah, but you know, I am no longer. I have no tan. Then again, I'm Irish. I'm not going to tan very much. And then, not only that, but you know, I've put on weight. I look at my older YouTube videos from when I first started, and I was still commuting to the office. Hell, in some of my old YouTube videos from like year 1 and 2, you see me in my work clothes. I'm wearing like button-up shirts or polos. I'm not in like the nerdy t-shirts because I just got off work and I'm like, crap, I just got home. I got to film this video. So it's kind of funny, but I put on weight. I put on a lot of weight the last couple of years sitting in this chair. So we got to do something about that, guys. We got to do something about that. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just being courteous to your fellow colleagues and friends. Go live. Nobody will watch you, LOL. But here's the thing. Here, I'm trying to give him a plug. So come in full circle. I think PD7 does a great job on Saturday nights. He always does a live streaming. He always picks a game that he can play with people, whether it's like an online arcade game, like an Arcade 1-Up, like I've seen them play Simpsons and stuff. Or he'll pick like a Switch game or something that people play, like the Marvel Cosmic Invasion or other games. And PD7, I got to say, buddy, you have built a really good community on your channel. You should be proud of the work you put in. I mean, in my opinion, he's a full-time YouTuber because every time I turn around, there's another video posted. So good job. I'm a part-time YouTuber. I can't keep up with guys like PD7. Good job, buddy. Yeah, remote is tough with easy access. Yeah. So in all fairness, guys, I've put on 35 pounds in the last 3.5 years. So I've been averaging like 10 pounds a year that I've added working from home. So I need to get myself healthy. I need to get myself moving. I need to get out of the house more, all that kinds of stuff. Especially being a type 1 diabetic, it's not good for me to keep gaining weight. So there you go. It looks like you lost weight. What camera do you use? I haven't lost weight. I haven't lost weight. I wish. No, to my knowledge, they don't. To my knowledge, they don't. It's kind of like Zen Studios. You get the game, but you don't get all the, you don't get like Zen Studios has all those like 1-ball challenges and stuff like that. You don't get to do that on the AtGames platform. Time to bust out the Ring Fit. Yeah, it's kind of funny, with the smartwatches, when they pop on, sometimes it'll be like, it's time to get up and move, and it does this animation. And then I just sit there, I look at it, and I continue sitting down. But yeah, I need to do it. Oh, he got his 100 subs? Yeah. Good job, Dennis. Good job, Dennis. So, yeah, good job for Dennis. He hit 100 subs. Dennis B. There you go. You guys should have a once-a-year meetup at some pinball arcade. Well, we were doing that for a while. We were doing that. Me and, you know, a lot of the YouTubers who I'm friends with. But then a lot of those guys have either retired or moved on, and there's only a couple of us left. So I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. My wife will come home from work and she'll be like, you know, because my wife, as you guys know, she lost 90 to 100 pounds, like about 100 pounds. So she's very into health stuff, eats healthy now. I still eat like shit sometimes when I shouldn't. I should know better. But like she'll come home and be like, oh, I took 9,000 steps today. And I look at my watch and it says, dude, no bullshit. It'll say like 2,000 at the most. And some of it might just be it thinking I stepped, like when you move your arm around and it thinks you took a step. And I'm like, man, I probably only walked 1,000 steps today. You know what I mean? So there you go. Yep. Take the dogs out more. The dogs love the backyard, and sometimes you get a little lazy, like, oh, I'm just going to let them out versus taking them for a walk. So yeah, definitely need to take them. And what's funny too is like my dogs are quick. I don't know about you guys, but like when I take my dogs out, like on the leash, I think they're just so excited to go on the walk that like we'll walk like 3 houses down, and especially the boy dog, he'll pee on every bush for 3 houses. So you're talking like 5 bushes get peed on. And then he takes a dump by the time we hit the 3rd house. And same with the pit bull. It's like they pee and poo right away. They're like, okay, we're done. And keep in mind, it's over 100 degrees in Arizona. You don't walk your dogs like on the sidewalks and pavements and stuff. It's too hot. It'll burn their paws. I mean, it's crazy how you could fry an egg out here on how hot the surfaces get living in the desert. So I do, you know, when people walk their dogs, you see them walking them very early in the morning, like this time of day, or late at night after the sun goes down, because it's just, you know, you don't want to hurt your puppies. You know what I mean? Are you going to Pinball Expo in October? I'm debating. A lot of the guys were asking me if I would go to Cleveland Gaming Classic again, because, you know, I went a couple years ago. And a lot of them are going again this year to Cleveland Gaming Classic. But like I told you guys, when I go to these cons, it costs a lot of money for travel. You're traveling cross country. I don't want to go to the same ones over and over. There's so many to go to and experience, right? So I like to change it up. Now, Chicago Pinball Expo I did 2 years ago. I could go back this year. So I'm debating between Cleveland Gaming Classic or the Chicago Pinball Expo this year. I think I'm only going to do one trip this year. Yeah, my dogs don't take long at all. They're out there and they're like, oh, hey, a bush? Too funny. All right, guys, we hit our 1 hour mark. Hopefully this was a good Early Risers broadcast for you guys. I appreciate you guys showing in, showing up, and showing yourselves out. And we'll keep you posted on all the latest gaming news that we find interesting. It's actually fun not trying to cover everything anymore. I'm actually having fun. You know what I mean? Oh, no. Oh, no. Something just happened in the chat. Joe Cade threw a $10 super chat in. I will be shamelessly be trying to bribe Dubs via super chats until he commits to coming to Cleveland Gaming this year. As big as it is having Riggs and Fox there, we need the major. Oh, I think you're trying to say mayor. Keep in mind, I've never called myself the mayor, only in sarcastic ways, because that's a name that a lot of the YouTubers who hate me gave me. They're like, what does this guy think he is, the mayor? And then they ran around calling me the mayor of Home Arcade. And what they didn't realize is that the public kind of took it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't make it up. It's not my idea. And I've never really called myself the mayor. Only in a couple, like, I made some AI videos where I put, like, the mayor on my desk. But that was to make fun of the people making fun of me. You know what I mean? So I'm not the mayor, guys. I'm not the mayor. I'm a part-time YouTuber. I don't have time to do and cover everything anymore. That kinds of stuff. Yeah. All right. So give us a thumbs up on the way out. Joe Cade, I will consider going to Cleveland, but I've already been there, dude. But then again, I've already been to Chicago Pinball Expo. We'll see. We'll figure it out. All right. You guys have a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you real soon. I have an AtGames Legends Ultimate mod video coming out. I got one interview that we're recording this week that hopefully I can broadcast. I also have a basic fun video about that WrestleFest I got to wrap up still. Yeah, we got some good stuff coming. So hopefully you'll stick around. Hopefully you'll hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of the uploads, and we'll talk real soon. And you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you guys later.